opportunities anywhere. So it's a matter of where can I put my money, I'll make the best return. You see some people coming, I was reading an article, somebody sent some stuff to me. There are some projects about to happen in Nigeria here that some people are bidding for from Kuwait. So they are looking for local partners to partner with in Nigeria. Some road projects in Nigeria, and I don't think it's in any national paper. Maybe it's going to be in the Building Journal. From Kuwait, from international consulting firms. So you need to make sure that they would definitely make sure it's feasible and viable before they go into it. Because it's not, there are no free bills. The cost benefit analysis, why do I need to do this to that? And that is the justification we need to always have when we are putting any project to ensure that it is worth doing at all. Do I need to put this or to put that? Is it project A or project B? So we need to do all of that as one of yours. You can be part of it. Then value management, we know what that is all about. Making sure that there is value for everything. I am a value person. I call myself, people say I'm a value man. I must make sure that it might suit what the price I'm paying for it. That's what you must be sure that it's worth the value, and you must make sure it is properly apportioned. Because when we say value management or value engineering, so to speak, it's not just the value of one item. It's a cut across to be sure that you are getting value evenly to the objective that you are looking at. Then we talk about cost control. That is the post-contract services, which we must make sure we do well to ensure that you are following the budget and is not going astray to manage that budget. Very, very important. So those are few roles I can actually just highlight for points of yours to ensure that you can always chase this job, they are available, and there are some of us are also doing that. In conclusion, infrastructure planning in Nigeria has been largely government responsibility, but the state of Nigerian infrastructure is far below the international benchmark. Quite a lot of factors have been attributed as responsible for this symbolic state of infrastructure bug, which include lack of collaboration. We are trying to do it, but we need to do it right. Political will, the political landscape now, we can see it's quite shaky. Investors you have to think twice because we don't know where we are going. Policy somersaulting. Today we are going this way, tomorrow we don't know what they will do because we don't have consistency. When we are much younger, there used to be what I call 5-year, 10-year developmental plan. There is nothing like that again. One leader comes in, sets stone rule, another one comes and starts stone again. We also have funding, amongst others. For the nation to get out of the infrastructure deficit that currently bedeviled and achieve the international benchmark of 70%, core infrastructure bulk, there is a need to rethink infrastructure plan by, one, engaging the stakeholders in planning to ensure that what is being planned is what is required and that there is community buy-in. Very, very germane. Engaging cost experts, points of view, to weigh cost benefit. The cost expert is in a pole position to advise the government on cost implication of infrastructure projects so as to ensure proper budgeting is achieved. The cost expert also advises the government on the appropriate procurement route to adopt. Appropriate procurement route. Very, very soon, I think some of us are responsible. We should start becoming, maybe the law content in our curriculum is not enough. So we are able to truly go through these documents and advise our clients well. I mean, just for instance, the issue of bonds and guarantees. A little error in the phrasing of a bond can vitiate that bond, and you will know until the problem starts. So we need to spice up our law knowledge here. The private sector participation would reduce risk of the government and the financial burden. So that's very, very important. In conclusion, there must be synergy in all arms of government with respect to the implementation of the NIQS plan. You know what I mean? The Integrated Infrastructure Master Plan. There is the need to formulate policies that ensure strict adherence to the plan by successive government until review is deemed necessary. There must be regulatory framework to maintenance of public infrastructure. Should the state be responsible for federal government infrastructure within the state? That's the question that has to be answered. And that has, to end it all, those are my conclusions, but to end it all, I have some references because this was a research material, and always tell us that we should start thinking infrastructure and how to sustain anything that we put in place. Thank you very much. I hope I made my time.
Thank you very much. I attended a seminar recently, about 2 weeks ago. And it was just one day. And about 12 speakers spoke. And they spent just 33 minutes. And wonderful presentation. And you can also agree with me. My brother just spent less than 40 minutes even to present this one. Yes, I know we rushed him. He was unable to explain many things even to us. But I must let you know that we need to look at this paper critically. Because some of us that we are talking about this collaborative participation in planning, especially PPP, which is very, very key to us as a nation now. I don't see how we want to survive without PPP arrangements. I don't know. I don't know how we want to do it. And just like he mentioned, in all these areas, we have a number of issues. The one I've just recorded. In areas of roads, building, communication, transportation, and power. All these areas, we must allow people to go into it in terms of private partnership. Government cannot do it. He also mentioned the issue of the toll gate. I also am aware that there's no way we can do that without introducing toll gate back. During Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, there was this road, Lekki Road. It was signed as a PPE arrangement. But when the Lagos State government realized that they're able to realize money on time, they said, what? So it's possible to realize money like this. They went again for the Lekki Bridge. And as we are talking, they have realized a lot of money even from it. And that is why they're able to maintain it. I think we must not shy away from it. But as a point of view, what is our takeaway? And that is area of budgeting, viability of the project. The truth of the matter is when you are invited, the first thing the client wants to know is this project viable or not? If it is not viable, I don't need to put my money there. But if it is viable, yes. And they need an expert even to tell them. Who else can do that? I am sure Dr. Adesina will bear me witness about even this particular one. There was a project, an actor was looking for us to know whether they can venture into it or not. And it was until we said, yes, it's a good project, we can go ahead. And that was when the architect called the client, yes, that it's also ready even for that project. QS Hakim, we really appreciate your thoughts on this paper. I know we have a number of questions, but I want to take the questions after the second speaker. I hope that is in order. You want us to take the question now. And the way we are going to take the question is this. We will not allow you to stand up and you write it. You write it and submit it to us because we really want to manage the time. So please write your question and submit it to me. Straight away we go for the second speaker, and that is my chairman. That's my chairman, US Mafimi Diwo. You know, Lagos State chapter, they can do and undo. They have the largest number of consumers. You understand? The chairman is so powerful that he produced how many number of council members? How many numbers in Lagos? I don't even know the number. So powerful, he can do anything. And this morning we are where we are lucky to have QS Mafimedio in our midst, and he's going to talk about the concept of infrastructure partnership, participation in provision of infrastructure. The good thing about QS Mafimedio is this: it's coming from two angles. In fact, three now. It's coming from three angles. He's a lecturer, he's a practitioner, and he's a businessman. QS Mafimedio.
Thank you very much. And once again, I want to say good morning to you all. I want to recognize, to really appreciate Dr. QS, Dr. Adesina, and the members of the Oyo State Chapter for bringing up this, the main topic, at this particular time. It's very, very good. And for what the various divisions, financing, planning, concepts, they are very wonderful topics. And to that, I really want to say thank you, and also for the opportunity extended to us in Lagos chapter, to come here en masse, because the man has just spoken is from Lagos, and the chairman of this section also is from Lagos, and I can see a lot of fellows from Lagos. Thank you very much. And I want to really appreciate and recognize our fellow, our past chairman of Fellows Forum, QS Ifeanyi Anago. Thank you very much. That's our erudite lecturer. He has just taught us during the last workshop, construction contract best practices. Thank you very much. And the Secretary General, he was talking the other time, which one is higher? Secretary General of African Quantity Surveyors. Let me clap for this man. So he's an international man. And when he's talking about Lagos, we'll just be wondering that, what else do we say about you? And somebody who has been chairman, even, do I say, the founder of the Osun State Chapter, and has served meritoriously at the national, and presently it has moved. He has moved to international. Thank you very much. And it's my chairman of the practicing conservator. When he came this morning, I said, please, I remain lawyer, because I still want to continue to practice. So thank you. You have, in fact, with that, I don't know. This man is very, very intelligent, and I mean, the Dr. QS, Dr. Adesina, the way he has spread the topics, maybe because of various areas, because he gave him planning and collaboration, because he knows that there are erudite people there. And then he carefully gave to me concepts. When you care about concept, it's theory. Concepts about theory. So, permit me, maybe all what I'll be saying today, like they have given me, is concept. And you will allow me for all the jargons that may be said. Because so, like I said, when I mention about concept, it's theoretical. Concept is a general notion. It's about an idea. An idea about something formed mentally combining its characteristics. You know, is a directly conceived and initiated object or thought. And partnership, my chairman already defined for us, is condition of being a partner, association or joint interest, collaboration. And infrastructure, it highlighted various things to us. Like I said, because I said my own is concept, is theory. How do we come about partnership collaboration? And that's why I'm tracing it to 2002, when the World Summit on Sustainable Development was held in Joburg. You know, that is when the issue of partnership have been gaining ground. And that is in year 2002. And that's what they call WSSD. That is World Summit on Sustainable Development. Now, partnerships are now popular, very, very popular now in a globalized world, because national government lacks the influence, capacity, and mechanism to coordinate across different levels. This is what Patek mentioned to us in 2012. And partnership approach to infrastructure development and maintenance is growing tremendous because of financial constraint experienced by sectors in the provision of required infrastructure. During the my presentation, I'll show you, because I want to digress. Like I told you, it's about the concept. Why is my own question. And that's why I'm tracing from the World Summit. And from what we have heard earlier, there's no way we have, you know, a lot of decadence in the infrastructure. And the quality of infrastructure provision and the means by which the ongoing infrastructure investment gap might be effectively addressed is presently more topical than at any time in living memory. You know, we have seen from the last lecture, and which I'm going also to project some of the things, a lot of infrastructural decay. And there is need for the provision of the infrastructure, because to really develop the economy, we need it. And it's not something government alone can do. You know, government alone cannot do it. And like they have said, it's not a new, again, that Nigerians lack of basic infrastructure to facilitate sustainable development and trade, both regionally and globally, is already known by all of us. There's this shortage. And without it, we can't move forward. And like I said, I just want to paraphrase, then we'll now discuss generally. Infrastructure is a set of interconnected structural elements that provide framework supporting an entire structure of development. This was as written by Oyedele, which Chairman also even referenced to in his paper. So, there is need for, because of the shortage of infrastructure in Nigeria generally, and that is why there is need for all this framework supporting, and that is why a lot of people have been brainstorming on how can we come together and assist so that we can achieve greater development in the country. There are two major components of infrastructure as outlined by Okuma by 2008. Like I said, I'm just trying to run through, then we'll discuss. Because like I told you earlier, my own is about the concept. And the division of the infrastructure, we can look at it from two perspectives: the economic infrastructure and social infrastructure. And what is economic infrastructure? Economic infrastructure are services produced by airports, roads, railway system, electricity, gas, water supply, telecommunication, waste management, and recycling. They are things that generate income for the government, and where income can be raised. And then the other part, which is the social infrastructure. These are things, are services produced to train human, to develop human capital. They refer to services provided to develop human capital. And that's why we see schools, universities, facilities for police services, armies, court facilities, corrective services, health sector, and public building. From this, you'll be able to see that, because I'm tracing the concept, that from both the social and economic, we'll see that there's a lot of shortages. We don't have them. And these are the things that are required for us to move forward. We want to develop human capital. We need schools. We know the state of many of our schools today. In fact, it's a shame. When we travel abroad, we see what they call school. I'm sorry to say. Is it in terms of the buildings, the facilities, and so on and so forth? Not to talk about the human capital. Not to talk about even the curriculum. When you travel abroad, for some of you that have their children abroad, they can tell you when you enter in August that from the day you enter, you can have your graduation date. But what do you have in Nigeria? You cannot predict, because midway there will be water problem, there will be electricity problem, and students will riot. They will demonstrate. They will go home for 2 months, 6 months, and so on. So these are the problems. Schools, universities, and so on. Is it our police services we want to talk about? What they are good for is to stand on the road collecting 20 naira, 50 naira. Standard. Thank God that of recent, maybe in Lagos, we thank God that they've started some ideas now that they're emulating the international community. They have police in their vehicles, stand by at some locations, that in case there's any issue, they can run to. Also about health sector, my brother talked about that, my chairman. So, health sector, well, in Lagos is improving, but for others, still a problem. And they said health is wealth, because it's when we're healthy. I was sharing with, yesterday I was sharing with my friend that came from US, that when somebody was talking about relocating or not relocating, I said, well, except for security in Nigeria, they would have loved to be here, because this, at least, there they work 24/7. But what I just want to mention is about security, is that there, any small thing, they can pick you up. If it's an emergency, within some few minutes, you see ambulances, you see, even if it's critical, you see helicopters and so on and so forth. But Nigeria, we are still far down. And then we have talked, my chairman has talked about the hard infrastructures, railway, this and that, a lot of roads, most of is unfortunate. They are most, is only Nigerian port, I mean the Lagos port, that 90% of all the goods are shipped from. Instead of developing other ports in Warri, Port Harcourt, Cross River and so on. And that's why you see trailers queuing from Apapa. Occasionally now they reach Pangrove. And sometimes they block the Apapa Oshodi Expressway. The vice president has to come. So this is because they are going to go and pick things. And that's what we're talking about, the shortage. So we need Nigerian suffers, that's the word. It suffers from a huge deficit of infrastructure and infrastructure which is available, and the infrastructure which is available is not being adequately utilized. So therefore, like somebody told us in his paper, Modu Kumshe, he said, this country needs US 19 trillion to provide the needed adequate infrastructure. And that's where we are going, the concept. We will need, that is Modu Kumshe et al. In 2015, the paper, about when he was writing about the deficit. So if we have that, who can meet that up? Government cannot, because I'll show you, see I just want to compliment what my chairman of consulting have said. See the deplorable state of building police barracks. We have some of the roads, infrastructure in Nigeria. They've become, in fact, at a point, or Benore Road, some people sleep there severally. See deplorable conditions of some of our things. So the beginning of partnership between private and public sector now can be, this is why private sector needs to come to the aid. Because how can they raise 19 trillion to do that? When I will show you, because I went through, let me quickly go to that. I'll come back. Nigerian's budget. Nigerian budget in the last, I'm just doing it because of time. Nigerian budget since 1981. You will see that in 1981, total budget, this is in billion, no? It's in billion. So you will see we have 11.41 billion. And what is for capital? 6 billion. Recurrent, 4. Up to, if you see 1999, well, it's coming up a little bit. 498 out of 947 billion. But what I'm trying to emphasize is that if you look through the table, you find out that recurrent has overtaken capital. Look at 2016. The current alone is 4 trillion, while capital is just 634 billion. And we need 19 trillion dollars. Not in Naira. That is Nigeria for you. That I'm just tracing back the concept that no wonder other countries that have developed more than us, internationally, is because they have long time ago have really started the collaboration. And that's why, you will see that the beginning, that is for developed economy of partnership, has been from Roman Empire. I don't want to go into that details. But the concept of using private capital to provide public facility has existed for centuries in nations such as UK, US, Spain, among others. They've been using it for long. That's why they have developed more than us. We're talking about the concept. They have been applying it. In fact, of recent, if you Google it, you will see. And unfortunately, you find that it's Nigeria. Some of our countrymen are doing wonderfully well abroad, financing, assisting in this partnership. If you Google the person that bought Gatwick Airport, in 2012, is a Nigerian. Mr. Adebayo Ogunlesi bought Gatwick International Airport for 1.6 billion pounds. Google it, you see it there. And it's just a 56-year-old guy. You Google it, you see it. 56-year-old guy. So they appreciate abroad there. And that's why we are saying, over period, a lot of all these things we need. The concept of using private capital to provide has existed for long. But Nigeria was sleeping. We are sleeping. It's only of recent, like he mentioned. I'm going to show it, that they started Lekki concession, the bridge, then MM2, during Obasanjo, MM2, Obasanjo regime, and some few things. And what do you have again? We are still sleeping. I'll show you that a lot are in the pipeline, which we don't know when they will do it. A lot are in the pipeline, you know. So, globally approach of infrastructure and maintenance has continued to grow immensely as a result of financial constraints, which is what I've explained to us. So, partnership may take various forms, he has explained, but I can just buttress. He has told us BOT, BHBs, and all those things. You know, we have various ways of partnering. Partnerships may arise spontaneously or be formed, you know, to proposals and objectives. If we move, traditionally, PPP, like we said, is just to enhance the efficiency of infrastructure development, while public interest is safeguarded. And what is the purpose of PPP? I'm just running through. Is to ensure lasting relation between the private sector and public, build trust among public project owners and project executors, reduce cost of project delivery. Then, again, we have what's happening? Some moving. Okay. I just want to explain. He has already explained that because I have 30 minutes. So, government needed public-private partnership, like I've explained, because our capital budget is dwindling while our recurrent is moving. You know, why won't you move? When a senator will be earning how much per month? 30 million. Why what's the lowest salary? 18,000 minimum wage, and somebody is earning that. So that's why our building will continue to move, you know. So features of PPP, because like I told you, we are looking at the concept. For it to work, there must be legal framework. The legal framework must be sound because of the different objectives of the parties. You know, private coming together with the public. There must be efficient and effective costing. You know, effective and efficient costing. And both parties must have technical knowledge of the infrastructure being developed, though it may be at different levels. And like the chairman has emphasized, there must be value for money. It must be based on value for money, that is economical, efficient, and effective. And again, the long-term contract concession for construction and service delivery That's another thing, the legal framework for PPP. Must give a long time so that is the problem we have with some of our banks as of today. Some of our banks, they want short-term loan. You know, they want loan within 1 year, 2 years. It cannot work. For infrastructural development, we need long-term. You know, single-digit interest rates. That's what applied worldwide. It's only Nigeria that will see, you know, loan 28%, 30%. Meanwhile, abroad, and we know from the theoretical point of view, the higher the interest, it reduces, you know, it makes cost, working on the cost very, you know, it will make sense for you to go, you know, for some of these things because it will be too expensive. So long term, for construction and service delivery, construction company can be highly leveraged if it has relatively stable cash flow. Then some of the benefits is just addition to what he has told us. The delivery of projects on time and on budget, reduce procurement costs, and improve value for money outcome. Improve project management, adoption of an output specification to encourage design and construction, innovation, and new technologies, improve public services, and some group of 4 people, okay, group of 4 people, Shedrack, Amani, and Nigeria, on 2018, talk about postal service expansion to this operates greater efficiency, deliver less time. So PPP is used as an umbrella for the term of designating collaborative relationship. I'll move straight to some of, you know, they have told us, it's just addition. Some of the examples, models, like our chairman said, build, operate, and transfer. Then we have design, build, finance, and maintain. Then we have build, own, operate, and so on. Diversity. Then some of the PPP, which he has mentioned also, we have Lekki-Epe Expressway. You know, project cost is about $250 million and handled by Lagos government, BOT. Dolphin Estate, between Lagos State government and HFP Construction. You know, then we have Murtala Mohammed Airport, by Courtney, and so on. So we'll see some of the upcoming, which I said, no money. You know, we have the dual carriage northern for Northern Expressway, which is about $250 million. Status is still development phase. We have a lot of others that are still in the pipeline, which for cost reasons. These are the Lekki Expressway I will mention. Then Murtala Mohammed MM2. Then Lekki Bridge, which the chairman mentioned, our Secretary of African Conservator. Then East Line Shopping Mall, that's in Ajah. And these are some of the projects. So the construction industry creates the built environment. You know, it is one of the catalysts to the evolution of conserving profession in UK. And as conservator, we have greater potential of modifying, you know, and managing the process in which PPP concession projects are being procured. This has been outlined by the chairman consulting, that's Mr. Smith, the other time, about the benefits. So the era of only the engineering profession, which will remove that, which will of only engineering projects probably coming to an end in construction industry. Investors are guiding generously their investment with expectation of commensurate return on investment, thus value for money. The importance and benefit of capacity upgrade is not far-fetched in the emerging era of public-private partnership that is trending the infrastructure provision landscape globally. So the countries of all must strive constantly to improve and update skills and professional competence. That's what they've emphasized for us. We have a lot of things to benefit, from PPP. So infrastructure provision and the ways which infrastructure investment gap should be addressed. I'm just talking about conclusion now. Should be addressed in the, is presently more topical than at any time in living memory. Government around the world are focusing on new ways to finance projects, build infrastructure, and deliver services. So government alone, even at the best of times, cannot provide infrastructural requirements needed for the economic development of the country. Hence, the call for the intervention from the public-private sector in the provision of public infrastructure. Public-private partnership is therefore a necessary and important instrument for the attainment of sustainable economic development. Thank you.
Thank you. You spent exactly 30 minutes. 30 minutes. He went through the concept of infrastructure partnership with us. Through the history, how they started it in Joburg in the year 2005. And today, if you go through South Africa, you will discover that that is the infrastructure development in South Africa is the only thing that they have than Nigeria. It's only their infrastructural development. Every other thing, they cannot beat Nigeria. If today we are able to develop our infrastructure, I'm sure nobody will run away from Nigeria. As of last year, almost 22,000 people left Nigeria for US. And as of today, they are still in US. The US declared this report last week that over 21,450 something are still in US. You don't know where they are. Eh? There's no other thing, it's because of our infrastructure. But you know one thing about this infrastructural development? I tell you, it will create a lot of jobs for quantity surveyors. I saw a design about 3 months ago from Abuja to Ilorin by road. It will only take you 3 hours, 30 minutes by road. Because the new design, the design I saw from Ilorin to Abuja, 348 kilometers. 348 kilometers. I saw the design. And I asked the man that brought this design, excuse me, sir, you were there before. Why are you just bringing this design? He said, Kola, that's a talk of tomorrow. Let us talk of what we are to discuss today. That means from Ilorin to Abuja, 3 hours, 30 minutes. So if it is 3 hours, 30 minutes, where will I go to airport to queue? Why? It will be a pleasure to ride from Ilorin to Abuja. 3 hours, 30 minutes. And I also saw another design, Lagos, Abuja. That one has not been finalized. Why? Some of them are arguing, I want it to come through my state. I don't want you to boycott my state. Honestly, that was the only argument. And that is why they're still not, they are unable to finalize that one. And also look at the cost. From Ilorin to Abuja, it will cost them only $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. And I ask, among all the money that we have even recovered, we can even use this part of the money to finance this thing. You understand? Look at the economic benefits. And it was when we were now discussing, and I said, now that it's going to be private driven, can we also introduce some things? He said, what? And I said, can we introduce at every point, maybe about some kilometers apart, you can introduce a restaurant. You want to relax yourself, then you branch. Relax yourself, enjoy yourself, continue the journey. That's one. I said, what about hospital? Have you thought about a clinic, a mini clinic? If during this journey, someone falls sick, what do we do? You understand? And I was mentioning things like that. The next question was that, but we thought you were a conservator. I said, yes, I'm a conservator. But have you forgotten that I'm a value man? And because of that, we had all these things together. And I tell you, it will bring a lot of things even to us tomorrow. So economic-wise, it's good. Social-wise, it's super. And just like he mentioned, and to all our lecturers, I think, sir, we need to look at the issue of our law in school. We need to add more to it. We need to add more to it. Because by the time you are discussing with your clients, now they know, they'll ask you more questions. You understand? I don't know whether you are aware. The majority of these PPP programs have been put together by lawyers. They have been put together by lawyers. You understand? I asked this lawyer, how do you come about it? He said that just one project, when they are doing it and I was part of the drafting committee, I said, I will make more money from this than going to court and they venture into it. You understand? And I also want you to know something. There are other people benefit from it. And who are these people? Businessmen. They are not going to do anything at all. They will only do the packaging. They will just sit down with you like this. They will introduce the financier and the builder. You understand? And they will just sit there and they will take 1.5% of the total cost. You understand? Just like you mentioned, I'm aware now that we're having some investment banks operating underneath in Nigeria now because of all these PPP arrangements. We may not know, but I think we need to know. And I think it is necessary for us as conservators to wake up. We need to wake up and really take the lead when it comes to this PPP arrangement. I know Mr. Anago is seriously gaining from that, and that's why anytime you see him, he's never tired. You also see his suit, and you begin to say, what's happening? What's happening? I think we need to know more about it, please. Thank you very much, QS Mark Midiwo. It's a good one. For some of the questions, can we take the questions now, please? Do you have the question or there are no questions? You have one? Okay. Or comments? Okay, this one is it. The two speakers spoke about examples of PPP projects. I'm aware of the second toll gate on Aja Road, which is a subject of litigation. Residents refuse to pay at the toll gate. What is the effect of this on the PPP arrangement with the state government by the investors? Also, the second question would this not create fears in the mind of would-be investors? I can answer this one even without giving you this. Yes, there are litigation on it. Do you know why? The Ajah people, they were just asking that, give us an alternative. If I don't want to pay through the toll gate, you understand? I can go through other things. You understand that? Give us alternative. That's what they're asking for. Like the learning that I've just mentioned. What it means is, it will be told. You don't need to pass through the place. You can go through the whole road. That's what it means. And you also know something. You know where government is making a big mistake? When GSM came, NIQS was still on ground. They did not ask NIQS to close shop. You understand? They introduced GSM to all of us. It is now left to you whether you still want to go with NIQS or these ones. And I remember at the first time when the thing came out, we were buying it at 100,000 plus. I think it was only MTN and Airtel. I don't know the name they call Airtel then. Econet, thank you very much. You understand? And some of us, we are still very faithful. We are not prostitutes. Still with MTN. You understand? And everything came at that time. So it's left to you. If you still want to go with the old road, you can go with the old road. You understand? Like some of us that are working with government. Excuse me, why do you want to demolish buildings? All these internal roads. I want to create it. No. Why do you want to destroy it? Don't destroy it. Why don't you create new city? Create new city. And the old ones, maintain it. You understand? It is not left to you whether I want to move to the old city. But when you create the old city, you make sure that the new one that you are creating, it has a master plan. And you want to follow with it. You understand? In Osun, when they started, I walked up to the commissioner. I said, Commissioner, why are you doing this? You're an architect. Why don't you do this? He said, you never thought of this. And immediately, now that's why we have ring road in Osun now, in Osogbo now. You understand? So we don't need to create all these issues. That's my own. And that's creating an alternative. Now the issue, the issue of litigation is a serious issue in Lagos. But it was because Lagos State got to know that these people are making lots of money. So what? We thought that 10 years you will recover your money. Under 3 years, you have recovered your money. No, we will take it over. In fact, some people are insinuating that it's government instigated the Ajah people to go to court. You understand? Because they want to collect it back. We are working on a project, and now that the investors are saying that we are not sure of political situation in Nigeria. Can we suspend this project for another 6 months? You know what that means to us. You understand? It's not too good. That's number one. But where I'm actually going is this. If you're able to start all these projects, our insurance will be strengthened. Will be strengthened. Old mutual assurance, old mutual that is in the country now. You understand? It has a reason. That's the only insurance company now that can bankroll many things. All other insurance companies, they can't because of their parent body. And most of this money, when they come to Nigeria, insurance company must back it up. Not even the banks alone. In actual fact, majorly, finance company, the investor rely more on finance company and insurance company than banks. Banks is just to disburse. And I now discovered that in all these insurance companies, they need a lot of consumers to work with them. Because these are the people that will sign it up. You understand? Please, we need to develop this thing and see how we'll work it out. It is very, very, very clear. So, for the issue of litigation, it's actually disturbing us. It's a serious issue. But what we advise is, especially government people, when you are creating this type of thing, please create an alternative for others. If they don't want to do toll, they can go other roads. Like Lagos Expressway, if it is done now and they said they want to introduce toll, Why not? Let them introduce it. If you don't want to go through that, there's Abeokuta Road. Go through Abeokuta and come and go to Lagos. Thank you. Contribution.
Thank you very much. I actually asked this question because I'm aware of the litigation on that project. You mentioned something about alternative route. We have. But today, nobody's paying a kobo because the people that invested their money took a risk. So if they took a risk that, oh, within the next 10 years, we should get our money, and within 5 years they got money, what is the problem? Why you think they should go and change it to 5 years? They borrowed money. You get me saying? So if because one is that I was on that road one day and there was an accident. Another 5 minutes, you were there. What? That's, as I say, it's a risk. Some people put in money, they will not get the money back. Nobody will go and say, sorry for you, my brother. So these people are very smart and they are doing the job very well. And that's why they are making their money. So why the people say they will not pay? That 10 years is too much. Let's use for 3 years. They are cheating them. That's my concern. Because the alternatives are there, but people are still not using them. They prefer the toll gate because they are not paying. What about the other bill that you pay? You want part of that date? You are paying for that. They are complaining, but they are paying. So we have to, my elder is here. He's more than a fellow to us. Maybe he has 1 or 2 things to say on this, sir. Because we're interacting now, please. Sir, maybe you have to say something about this, sir. Okay.
I didn't want to say much, but actually, it borders on purity of contract. All over the world, people tend to respect contracts, except this country. If people took risk, and risk can be found anyhow, it is possible that after 10 years, they could have gotten their money back, and they will return the facility back to the government. Well, yes, it is the government's business to have done their own due diligence at the very primary stage to find out, is it possible they can recover their money in 3 years or 4 years or 5 years? You negotiate that. If you really fail to do that and you pay a penny in their hands under the signature, sign the contract, that contract should go down. That's my opinion. Thank you very much.
He has said it, purity of contract. I was actually saying policy somersault, and that's why people don't want to come here for projects. And again, you said it. You have to look at this contract. Even before, that is the strategic plan. They are not sincere. Insincerity, and I told you earlier, let's look at the contract very, very well. The developers of this contract, they've created lacunas in that contract, make it impossible for you to get out of it. We need to look at it. And that's where I said we need to sharpen our legal skills. If you look at some contracts, they are good on the face of it. But seriously, the content have some dangers, red flags. But because we don't have that knowledge, we just think they are good. So I still think, you see, we need to develop models that will work for us. I'm not a bandwagon person. Analyze things and look at it. Now, it is not impossible. I review a project when the UAE was setting up. Very, very well. They took Ronald Rook from UK to come and do some project in Abu Dhabi. They had the cost plus contract. And they started. It was a 10% plus on everything. In between the line, they felt, no, they cannot do this 10% anymore. They said, is that you back to what we want, or you do the contract? And that was out till tomorrow. Leonard Rook UK does not do any project in the UAE anymore. So you see, they are government, but they need to be sincere. Why do they say that for public interest, they can demolish your property? If the government feels sincerely that truly they didn't do their service well, and that's the problem I have. Tomorrow, if you're going to any housing forum now, they say, you have a deficit of 17 million housing. Where did they get that data? For who? You just churn numbers and talk about things without sustaining those data. So they said 10 years. How did they get that 10 years? The strategic plan. How did they ensure that it was 10 years? What are the data? What are the parameters? And that's the problem. Insincerity of government and political. The people in government are the ones killing government. Permit me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I also want to queue behind them. The blame should really stop at the doorstep of government officials. The private sector investor primarily is coming in to have maximum return on his investment. So by the time he developed the business plan and feasibility reports to be submitted for government to scrutinize, the technical and financial negotiators for the government side shouldn't just come in, take tea, compromise themselves and go home. You have to look at the traffic volumes, you have to do the computation, the input. What made up those computations? If they have scrutinized very well, they should have known that what the investor is projecting to accomplish within 10 years, if it is possible to accomplish within 3 years, then you have to now transfer the benefit to the government. So along the line, it might not be errors or mistakes of technical or finances, but there could be some compromises along the line. So the government should take the blame. Don't let them blame the end users for that matter. The traffic as at that time, the projection over the period of 5-10 years, all of this should have been computed and simulated in the development plan. If they are in the business plan, it should have been apparent as at the point of negotiating with the investor that you can achieve this within a period of 5-6 years and not 10 years. If it has to be 10 years, then we have to now separate it out. So the value management here really is suffering, and then the integrity of government officers who went into negotiate with this, be it in Paris, in UK, in US, wherever it could be, I think there must have been some sort of compromises. Thank you very much.
Please, sorry. I want to also add from the other angle too, from all what you have said. The legal framework, unfortunately, I couldn't deal too much on it. Dealt too much on it the other time. It's a problem. And like I said, we both work on a project, that international airport. You know, it was the contractor started opposite the international airport. After a lot of problems here and there, though the developer also had issues. But you know what? By the time the issue was being resolved, government, because they changed minister, they told them they should not continue that one because the minister person has interest. They have to give them that place. You will see now the new place where the multi-tool car park. In fact, they first gave them where the Chinese people were. Later on, when they were to start again, they shifted it, gave it to Chinese. Nothing. They shifted it and gave it to Chinese. They moved them again to another place. And we know the implication of that. At the end of the day, the developer suffered a lot because the contractor has already mobilized. For 1 year, because they changed the place, it couldn't continue. So I knew how much they brought. You know, so they suffered. So those are the things there. We really need the legal framework. And then again, I was talking about the value engineering, the interest rate. Government have to help us. We cannot help participation because the higher the interest rate, it makes value engineering to nothing. Because a certain percentage, it's not wise to borrow on a long term, because if you borrow at long time, by 5 years, 4 years, your interest already doubled. As soon as somebody borrow 10 billion or 1 trillion or whatever, and then at 28%, interest rate will have doubled by 4 years. Then how much is it going to? There are a lot of problems, you know. So we need to. Government really needs to really assist and create, and that's all those things that are not in developed countries. If not, somebody will not go and put his 1.6 billion pounds to buy somewhere. If it's Nigeria, before 5 years, they will take it over from me.
Thank you very much. I think, yes, I'm coming. I think we are learning. I'm on a project. And when the lawyer gave me the analysis, because I am not an authority in that area, I agreed. I said, okay. But thank God, we did not put anything in paper. It gave me the way everything will run. So what I started doing is to ask questions. Eventually, I got to a place. He said, Mr. Diamond, can you answer for it? Let us handle it from this level. You understand? And when I saw the proposal, I said, my God, I thought I went to school. I'm being sincere with you. I said, I thought I went to school. Ha! So this man will have gotten this. You know the language the chartered accountant firm used? He said, this is an orc. You understand? This is an orc. I said, what? Now, we're talking about, that is just one aspect. I think the major problem is this. We need to be more educated. We need more information. When they bring proposals, as a businessman, I want to make more money. You understand? Let us look at the feasibility report. Within the feasibility report, we know that, yes, we want to sign a contract of 15 years. But at the end of 70 years, you have realized your money. So why will I sign a contract of 15 years? You understand? That's at the inception. So at that particular time, you can now bargain. I want it 10 years. You understand? Not 15 years. As at that time, the businessman also realized that, okay, after all, at the end of 70 years, I've realized my money. You understand that? That means 3 years is not a bad idea. Don't let me lose this thing. He will sign. But if you don't have that information, you will sign 15 years. And that is exactly what happened between Lagos and the contractor. You understand that? Because right from the beginning, the contractor did not supply enough information to Lagos State government. You understand that? In terms of how many number of cars flies that place per day. You understand that? They did not do it. And that's why they're in court. And that's why those contractors, they will not mind to settle out of court eventually. Because from their own end also, they have used business angle to it. There are some information that you must not hide. But even when you want to hide the information, if I ask, you'll be forced to give it to me. And that's where I'm going about professionals, that we need to be more equipped, you understand, about all these things. If you want to, I tell you, the younger ones, this is a good way to make money. If you go to PPP, I'm telling you, working with them, they will rely on you. Because you are the one that will supply all the necessary information. You understand? Especially the feasibility before where I look at it, I said, I want this thing done in 7 years. There's a project that is packaged for $3 million. And they were asking that, how long will this thing? We discovered that we're using 70% occupation. At the end of 10 years, in fact 9 years, you have recovered your money. So why do you want to sign 15 years? Why do I need to sign 18 years? Why do I need to sign 25 years? And meanwhile, the normal thing is the best project will be 15 years. Why do I need to sign that? You understand? I think we need to be more equipped. Yes,
good morning. First, my name is Cliff Enobu. I'm a quantity surveyor, project manager, and administrator, management person. I'm very happy, like yesterday I was here. I also made comments yesterday, but I'm so happy because we have fellows here, people who are in authority in quantity surveying practice, and quantity surveying as a profession. And I think the comments I want to make will be something that we should look at. Because we are talking about issues, about projects. But how are we, as quantity surveyors, ready prepared for this opportunity? By our training. Because the traditional quantity surveying training, if you want to use that here for whatever project is coming up, we have skill gaps. I feel that in management, when you want to assess the performance of a company, do a SWOT analysis. Weakness, opportunities, and threats. And I want us to use it for our profession. If we have to go anywhere, because we've heard of dynasties coming up, rise and fall of empire. So that it will not be the case of only surveying practice, only surveying as a profession. I, for one, all the things that we discussed, I said yesterday that this project, these issues we are discussing here are very germane for us as a profession. I had the opportunity of going through all these courses because I went to school. I did PPP for a whole session, a semester, and the program I went to the US. And I now found out that these issues we are talking about come under chronic surveying. Then there's another issue I came across again, which I did for a semester, monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring and evaluation. Now this one, I think these areas are being handled by sociologists. Sociologists and economic development economics. But we find that most of them, they have skills gaps. But the way they teach those courses is quite different from the way we look at evaluation. We have concepts we follow. And if you look at this concept, you as a economic surveyor, you come in very quickly and handy to you because you already have that training. So because we just stay in our comfort zone, carry drawings, come out with quantity, and we say go to site and go, I think we need urgently as a profession to study our courses for these who are coming behind. And I think when I came in, when I met our classmates, I said, look, we are still relevant today because we try to go outside the box. If we are remain just as one of us, I don't think we know what we know today. And I know a lot of us who are here today, all of us here, have gone outside the box. If you wanted to wait only on point of training you had in school, you have problems. But that is the place to ignite you. So set you going. So for these ones that are coming behind us, so that they become relevant in the scheme of things, we need to give them proper training. There is no cost because point of is all embracing. I must tell you, all embracing. When I did MBA, I found out that everything in management is point surveying. Because what we are talking about is management of resources, human, material, and whatever you have. But how many of these are being taught in point surveying? Just introduce it as if it's just by the wayside. They are the core courses. As decision makers in this profession, please look at this issue so that we don't fall by the wayside. Even the legal aspect of it is very important. All these professional issues. I think on the issue of PPP, I went through the issue of, I wrote a paper on this Ibadan Lagos Expressway. What I discovered during my study, horrible. Where we as police surveyors brought in, professionals were not brought in. And that is why the issues keep reoccurring over the years. And a lot of it is that we are talking of PPP, very good, theoretically very good. But how many of it? We are talking about the issues of the legal framework. The legal framework we are talking about is how we know there's a deficit there. We know there are deficits in that in what we have. What can we do to bridge this gap? That's appropriately. Even for our private life, it will help us to know where we are going to. So that we can, as professional colleagues, we can know where we are going. That is my submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 1 minute, please.
Thank you. Well, all well said. I just want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Association of Consulting Surveyors. I don't know the number of consulting firms that are here. There is an association of, but we are quite active now. We've been inaugurated to steer the committee of consulting firms in Nigeria. I'm the chairman of the committee, so I'm just using this opportunity to tell you that you can always register your presence or your firm or your name log on to this address, to this email address, it's acqs@niqs.org.ng. You can send your details to this email. We can have them so that we can put it in our register. We are collating registers of practicing firms. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's not impossible. You may still have questions. Don't hesitate. Send it to us. We'll provide answer to it. But just like the man said, we need to think outside box. You understand? It is very, very key. Who brought me into that project of the road and also things? It was not even the engineers. It was not even the designers. It was the finance man. You understand? The finance man said, who is your cost engineer? You understand? Who is your cost engineer? How do you arrive at this thing? That's how I was brought into it. Incidentally, the person that brought me happened to be an engineer. Somebody that I don't even want to mention about all this thing. You understand? So we are very, very key to all these things. Thank you very much. And to Oyo State Chapter for organizing this seminar. We appreciate it.
Can we give a round of applause to the chairman of this morning's session? That was a fantastic session, and that was very educative. And if I may add as well, sincerely, the curriculum that is producing the quantity surveyors in our educational system is long overdue for a review. It's overdue for a review. And I want to believe we have the deputy president, who is, I think, is a member of the board of Quantity Surveyors Registration Board of Nigeria. And then I'm sure they will take it up, from that level. So, yes, yes, that's what I just said. That our deputy, is a member. So they will hold him very well, and I'm sure he knows what to do. Thank you very much. Now we will have our tea break. But before we go on, please, we have a few items we want us to note. The dinner originally set for 7 p.m., but for some other considerations, we'll have to bring it forward. It will be starting by 6. So it will be starting by 6 p.m. So we should all know the cards for the dinner are available outside, 3,000 naira per person, and then 5,000 naira for couples. So one other thing we must note, please let us allow the elders to go first for their tea break, and then we can also follow. Thank you very much. As we close the session, can we have a Muslim to take the closing prayer? And please note, we have just about 30 minutes for the tea break. We need to hasten up so that we can have the second session very quickly and prepare for the dinner. A Muslim, please. What's your name? That lady what's your name? Yeah, come forward and take the closing prayer very quickly.